welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're going to paint these cabinets. These cabinets are over 30 years old, so yeah, they're going to look nice and fresh and bright. So yeah, if you want to know how I paint these cabinets, keep watching this video. All right, Chris, what are we doing?
Before we put this final coat on here, we're going to sand this down. Lightly sand it just because you feel like all the dust and stuff settled on it in the wet paint. And we want it nice and smooth and to look like it comes from the factory. So we're just going to take our sandpaper and we're just going to lightly scuff it. Not even no pressure on the sandpaper. Just enough to knock all that dust and dirt off before we put our final coat. You just want to go around the whole thing very lightly. And this does make a big difference. It's always good to sand it between coats of paint just to get any imperfections out of the paint. And it doesn't take much, just enough to get all the roughness out of there. Any sand or dirt or anything settled on it while we were painting or within the paint. And we're just going to go around the face of this thing and sand it down lightly, just so we got a beautiful finish. We want to just make sure we go over the whole thing. And don't worry about scratching it up. As long as you don't press too hard, it should be fine. And run your hand across it really lightly and just see if you feel anything. Just to make sure we got it all. You don't want anything on there. Especially on the countertop, because when you set a cup or something on there and it catches a piece of dirt, it'll scratch it fairly easy. And we just want to go over this face just to make it very nice. We only want to do this once. And it should last for years to come. A soft cloth, and we're just going to wipe all dirt and dust or whatever was on it off. And after we get it all cleaned off and there's nothing on it, we're going to repaint it one more time, and that'll be the final coat. And you can already tell it's looking 100% better already. But with one more coat, it's even going to look better. And this paint is really durable, like it's really good paint. You can't even scratch it off. So that tells me somebody sanded it good. Patricia sanded it good actually in the beginning. I don't know if y'all saw that, but if you did, she did a really good job. It's really easy to redo these cabinets. It just takes a little time.
Yep, definitely there's some elbow grease. Definitely a few steps, but it's worth it.
And now once we got it all wiped off, we're just going to recoat it one more time for a final coat.
I like it already. Da, 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 da.
Now we're just going to go ahead and put a final coat on here. And a lot of people don't like to hit these walls. But me, I do this so much. It's easier and faster to touch the wall up if you have the paint than try to tape it all off. It actually costs less money too, because that tape is pretty expensive. So if you have the paint laying around and you're good with a brush, I would say just paint it. A lot of people would disagree with me, but I do this fairly often, and that's just a trick that I've learned to speed up the process. I know there's going to be some people that are watching this and be like, why'd you hit the wall? But that's the reason I hit the wall. And we just want a nice thin coat. The thinner the better. Just make sure it's all spread out even, because this is going to be the final coat. Just make sure you got good coverage on it and everything is even and covered. And if you can see right here, I'm not using a brush. I'm actually taking my little roller and I'm smashing the corner with it. That's another thing some people don't like doing, but it just makes it so much faster. And we're going to roll the final coat on the countertop. And it doesn't take a lot of paint to do this. We'll roll our edge all the way down. Just literally, it's going to take 10 minutes to redo the whole thing. So it goes fairly fast once you get the hang of it. And we want to go from one end to the other. We don't want to go sideways. We want, if you have a roller mark or a line, you want to roll that out right now because this paint dries really fast. And we want to go as far as we can with the roller. So we'll take this one and we'll go all the way to the end. If you stop in the middle, let's say you just bring it back and you stop right here, that's fine. If you just want to roll all this like this and stop. Now what you would do with that is you would just come over here to the side and you just roll it completely out. See how I stopped? So we'll start back in the corner and we'll just roll it all the way from one side to the other. Just so there's no lines in the paint. If you were going to use a brush, you would cut these corners in first. But as you can tell, there's really no need to. It's called smashing the corners. And a lot of this goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. So if you're not watching a professional painter at your house, this is probably what he's doing. He might not do this if you were watching him, but most likely he's done it a time or two. And we're just going to repeat the process from one end to the other. We're going to go from the sink to the wall. See, I got a line right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. A couple lines in the paint. Can you see them? Well, it's hard to see on the camera, but we're going to take those lines and we're just going to roll them out. That is actually from the corner of the roller. It's just a build-up. Pretty normal. Just make sure you roll them smooth. You don't want no lines. And once you got a nice even coat, just look it over to make sure you don't have any lines or any built up paint or anything like that that's going to show when the paint dries. That looks pretty good. What do you think, Patricia?
It looks really nice.
So now we're just going to do the face the same way. And it's always important to roll, if you have, do the corners and stuff first. But right here on the countertop, I didn't want to lean into it. But since I'm rolling this right here on the face, we're going to have a little bit of buildup along this edge from the roller overlapping the top. And to fix that, we'll just go back and we'll just roll it from one end to the other the same way. Get that off of there. Just so there's no buildup. and that occurs a lot on corners. And we're just going to put a nice thin coat on here, a final coat, just to get rid of all them scratch marks from the sandpaper. And when this dries, it'll be so smooth because this paint likes to lay down and it's really hard to mess up. Not saying it can't be messed up, it's just hard to mess up with this paint. Can you see that line in the video?
No.
That's what we want to roll out of there. Just make sure there's no lines because they will show when that paint dries. And it's a lot harder to sand them out than just correct it right now while the paint's wet. Now if y'all can see the bottom of this cabinet, in the future we're going to show y'all how to replace that. I just don't have time to do it right now, but in the near future we will make a video of how to replace the bottom of the cabinets.
Oh, you making promises, okay. They gonna, you know they're going to hold me to it.
I know. I read all them comments too. And that's it. The cabinets are done. We just got to put the hardware back on when this dries and see how it looks when it's completed.
Yes, I love it.
And don't forget we got to cut around this wall because that won't be there in the next video.
What you mean by cut around the wall?
Paint these white marks that hit the wall. The paint's actually already dry. I can do it now, but I want to make sure it cures before I do that.
I love it. Thank you for the detailed instructions, Chris. The transformation of this little kitchen nook has been such a joy to watch. I just love the white. It is so crispy and so clean. It reminds me of a little countryside kitchen. And let me tell you, I love the finished look already. We're not quite done, but I just had to share what we have done so far. And I will make a video on everything we did from start to finish. So to be continued of this cute little white kitchen nook in my office.
Already know your place is my place now. My place is your place, let's face it. Baby, you know all the places. My place is your place. My place, your place is my place. Just face it. No one knows my places like you do. Your places like I do. My place like you do. Baby, don't stop. Got the key to the lock, we in